Unless you learn to face your own shadows, you will continue to see them in others because the world outside of you is only a reflection of the world inside of you. Shadow work has truly changed my life. I've been doing it for over 10 years now, and it was the gateway to my personal development journey and honestly getting out of depression and truly finding my power and understanding that I'm in control of my life. I'm so excited to share more about shadow work, what it is, how you can do it, and what changes you will feel when you do shadow work. It is such a powerful practice, and I think if everyone did shadow work, the world would definitely be a better place. One thing I'm going to talk about in this video quite a bit is the shadow work journal. I use this, I've been using it for probably over a year now. This is made by Zenful Note. Kayla is the owner of Zenful Note. She is my friend here in Austin. We met actually because I use her 369 manifesting journal. We became friends out of that, and I'm going to be doing a giveaway in this video. I'm so excited and grateful for Kayla for doing this with me, but I will share the details at the end of the video, so make sure you watch until the end. Let's start by talking about what shadow work is. So we all have these shadows, and basically what shadows are things that we have kind of repressed or we don't identify with our ego. Maybe they're traits of us that we have shame around, or we were told not to behave that way or feel that way, or we laugh too much or cry too much, or all of these little things that probably stem from childhood. If you were not fully attuned by your parent, if your parent didn't tell you it's okay that you're crying, it's okay that you're laughing, if you were reprimanded for certain behaviors, you probably have shadows or wounds around those areas. And it's really hard to sometimes pinpoint our shadows because we have repressed them. They're hiding from us, and we might get glimpses of them at times when something triggers us or we notice a certain pattern that we're doing. But oftentimes we are kind of unaware until we become self-aware of what our shadows are. Now, there's a negative connotation sometimes with shadow work or what shadows are. And personally, I think shadows are a beautiful thing. I think they are our teachers, and they also lead us to our superpowers and our purpose, because every single thing that happened to you in your life or every experience that you've had serves a purpose in the whole greatness of your life. As a child, I talked about this in a couple videos, but I did not have the easiest childhood. I actually grew up with a lot of abuse in my household and lack of stability, lack of certain needs being met, etc. And that caused me to feel a certain way, react a certain way, especially as a child and as a teenager, because of the way that I was when I was a child and a teenager. I'm not saying that I was horrible. Actually, I became quite independent at a young age because of these things, but I also had a really big victim mindset, and I really felt out of control of my life. But then when I started turning these shadows into positives and realizing that, okay, this is how I feel, maybe it's not a bad thing. I was very emotional. I'm a Pisces. I feel deeply, and I would cry a lot, or I would share my emotions a lot. And in a South Asian household, in an Indian household, you don't do that. Like, it's not typical, and it's not really embraced, unfortunately, oftentimes by parents or by other family members to be emotional. You kind of keep your emotions to yourself, and you don't speak your mind, you keep quiet and all of these things. But as I grew older, I realized, hey, it's okay that I feel deeply. It's okay that I want to share and express my feelings with others. It's okay that I cry. It's okay that I laugh a lot or I feel certain ways. And those shadows have come back to me. And as I kind of revisit pinpoint certain occurrences in my childhood where I was reprimanded for crying too much or acting a certain way, I maybe feel shame or guilt or even resentment towards certain people or how I was, etc. And that could have shown up in my life as anger or bitterness and this and that. But when I revisit them with a lot of self-compassion and compassion for the people around me, and understanding that, hey, they were probably raised in this way as well, or they were not taught that it's okay to feel these things, then I have compassion around the whole situation. And now I can look at that and learn from it and go forward in my life as a better person and also make friends with that shadow. I think it's so important to make friends with your shadows because at the end of the day, your shadows never leave you. They're here to stay and they're parts of us, and we should love all parts of us, even if it's difficult at times, and be really self-compassionate. That is something that my therapist actually a few years ago told me, because I take care of myself so much. I do so much self-care, and I journal, and I work out, and I eat healthy, and I make myself look good, and all these things. And she was like, Natasha, I see that you do a lot of self-care, but do you have self-compassion? And something flickered in my head, and I was like, you know what? I think I lack self-compassion. I'm working on this every day. I feel a lot better with where I'm at today than I did when I realized this a few years ago. But it is a journey. It's a work in progress. I'm still doing shadow work after years of doing it, and I'm still peeling back layers of myself and learning more about myself and becoming a better person because of it. So if you are just starting your shadow work journey, know that it can be quite draining. It can be really delicate. You can maybe feel very vulnerable at times, but take it slow and know that it is a journey and you don't have to do everything at once and uncover yourself and just like go so deep into it. Like, start small. When I started with this journal, I literally did one prompt and then put it away for a week and then revisited it. Now revisit it whenever I feel called to. If I'm having a bad day, if I'm feeling down, that is when I do shadow work, because that's when my shadows are coming out to play, when I'm feeling low vibrational, when I'm feeling like not myself or something's off about me. That's when you should be doing shadow work, and that's actually what your shadows are. It reads here, in order to flush out your shadow, you must be willing to catch yourself in moments of negativity and question where it stems from. Use this journal as getting to the root of your shadow pages when you notice yourself becoming irritated, anxious, angry, or sad. When facing your shadow, it is important to take small positive actions that improve your physical and mental well-being. Ever since I started doing shadow work, I feel like I've been so grounded and secure in who I am, which I did not used to be before. I felt very fleeting and like my energy was being pulled in so many different directions, and I was a different person in front of every person. But now I feel like I can walk into a room and I know who I am, and no matter who I talk to, my energy stays relatively the same, which I'm really grateful for, because it's a lot less draining on me to interact with other people because I'm not having to match someone else's energy. That also causes you to become a magnet for amazing opportunities that are meant for you, and you lead a life that is purposeful and true to yourself because you know who you are. And not only do you know who you are, you share who you are truly with the world. And maybe not everyone's going to relate to you, or not everyone's going to accept all parts of you, but hey, that's okay, because not everyone is supposed to. Like, you are supposed to attract the people that are vibrating at the same rate as you and on a similar path. And certain people come into your life for different reasons, but the truer you are to yourself, the more aligned the people around you will become. So let's talk about how to do shadow work. Starting with the basics is to just sit with yourself. I want you to sit in silence, stop scrolling on your phone, go for a walk and leave your phone at home. Just start spending more time with your thoughts. If you are feeling down, if you're feeling anxious or depressed or whatever it is, those are your shadows lurking. What is causing you to feel that way? Can you pinpoint it? Can you think back to a time? If you feel certain emotions, I want you to really think about what the emotion is that you're feeling. Is it sadness, sorrow, guilt, shame, anger, resentment? Where is this emotion coming from? Chances are it's stemming from something a lot deeper. Maybe it's even from your childhood. Shadows are part of your subconscious, not your conscious mind. These are things that you really have to think about deeply and sit with. And that's why this journal is so amazing, because it has prompts that lead you to these exact moments. But just start by basically sitting with yourself, and then we can move on to the next step. So after you sit with yourself, also think about your childhood, revisit times in your childhood where those moments stuck with you. Maybe you were made to feel not great about your actions, or you had to really suppress the way that you're feeling, etc. Think about those moments, and here are some prompts that you can actually do on your own for figuring out what your shadows are. Do you struggle with showing yourself compassion self-compassion. How does showing yourself compassion make you feel? When was the last time you truly gave yourself grace and forgave yourself for a mistake? What was the mistake? What are 5 self-care activities that make you feel safe and secure? Write about a time when someone else showed you compassion. How did it feel? When are you hardest on yourself? Where do you think this stems from? I think the last one is actually a really great one to do. I personally love that one because I am quite critical on myself. I'm very hard on myself, and it definitely stems from childhood. It stems from being South Asian, growing up in a South Asian household, but it also stems from probably the experiences I personally had, which I'm not really going to go into in this video, but I can definitely understand like what happened at certain points of my childhood that caused me to really be critical of myself. It's not easy to become friends with your shadows. Like, you don't like that part of you, or it feels uncomfortable, or if you really think something about you is toxic and you are starting to really accept that, it's not an easy thing to accept, but you can then change the patterns. So there are shadows that you can become friends with and really own and use to your benefit, but then there's also shadows that are toxic and that we really should change these patterns, and maybe they're patterns or habits or outbursts that we just tend to do, and we can change how we act if we are diligent about it. And it's so beneficial to be self-aware and realize these things, because then it really will benefit us and also our relationships and the people around us. So use these prompts, do what you will with all this content. There's a lot more information in the shadow work journal. It walks you through what shadow work is, how to do it, and then of course the prompts, and also how to ground. Facing parts of us, especially when you are in such a dark place, is really exhausting and can be a scary thing to do. But as we learn to accept ourselves, we can morph into the person that we really dream of being. So I hope this video was very helpful. As for the giveaway, I'll be giving away 5 shadow work journals with Zenful Note. Thank you so much, Kayla, again for this. To enter the giveaway, please subscribe to this channel. I will check, give this video a thumbs up, comment down below something that you are grateful for today in this moment, something that you are so happy about, grateful for. It can be about your own life, the world, etc. And follow me on Instagram. I will be announcing the video on my personal Instagram at the Natasha Ibrahim. The link will be in the description, and also follow me on TikTok. I will announce the winner of this video 2 weeks from when this video goes live. So you can see the date, and I will have in the description the date of the announcement. So make sure you stay tuned. And I will be doing another giveaway with Zenful Note in an upcoming video for her Lucky Girl journal. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But thank you so much for watching until the end of this video. I hope you have a lot of success in your shadow work. Let me know how it goes, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.